Hey everybody, it's Marshall here. It's coming by The Flash Season 2, Episode 20 review and rundown. Last Rupture rundown. There's a lot of Easter eggs, plot arcs that they just set up. They just set up a lot of stuff from Jay Garrick, the real Jay Garrick, to also Wally West, Jessie Quick, The Flash, what's going to go happening along with Barry in the next episode, and maybe a few more episodes. Who knows? Who really knows at this point? They're just doing so many crazy things. So let's get started. So this episode, really good. This is actually one of my favorite episodes of the season, because I feel like it just did a good job. Like, I feel like there was nothing that was not good about it. Like, I've had a few picks here and there from episodes, but it was really good. So the reason why I put the Flashpoint, if you guys don't know, the thumbnail that I used was Flashpoint Paradox, is because they kind of did their own version of that. They pulled out the experiment, because in Flashpoint Paradox, Barry doesn't have power, so they redo the experiment that gives him Speed Force. So they do that, and then that gives him Speed Force in the storyline. So in this, for sure someone was going to walk in. In this episode, they do the same thing basically, but in a different way. Like, this isn't the exact Flashpoint Paradox storyline, obviously. But it's really cool to see this because it was really interesting of how they set it up, you know, with Barry being there and him talking to his dad. But we're going to sidetrack the storyline about the Flashpoint stuff, and we're going to talk about his dad real quick and then go back. So his dad, they have John Wesley's ship on here, and everyone is wondering, like, is John Wesley's ship going to be a speedster at some point, with that big Easter egg in the Earth-2 episode where you see John Wesley's ship's Flash from back in the day when he played Flash. And they did that, and they were like, okay, is he going to be a Flash on this show? Like, is he from another Earth? I'm hoping, or I guess I was hoping when they revealed that. I'm hoping for something else now. But I was hoping when they showed that his show was like Earth 4, Earth 5, whatever they want to do. I don't even know what Supergirl's Earth is. Like Earth 3, 4, 5, I don't know. Who knows? But it was really interesting to see him in that Easter egg, because it's like, okay, now they're probably going to touch on that later on. But in this episode, we get like a huge bomb dropped on us that really just shows us who Henry Allen, or I guess who Earth-2 Henry is really. So the theory that's going around, and the theory that I agree with, is that John Wesley Shipp's character, Henry Allen, Barry's dad, he revealed that his mother's maiden name is Garrick. So the theory that everyone's talking about is that Henry Allen from Earth-2 is Jay Garrick, right? And like his mom kept the maiden name, he was born, and he became Jay Garrick, or Henry Garrick, or maybe his middle name is Jay, Henry J. Garrick, right? That could make sense, or Jay Henry Garrick, who knows? And that he is the guy in the metal mask. So Earth-2 Henry is Jay Garrick, the real Jay Garrick, and is a speedster, but he is in the metal mask being held by Zoom, who took his name and therefore came up with the name Jay Garrick to infiltrate infiltrate Team Flash. So that is a theory that's going around right now. I don't know what you guys think. It's a solid theory. It makes sense. They just literally threw it in our faces in this episode. Like, the Flash writers just was like, oh, wink, wink, wink. You know, like, it's like, yeah, it makes total sense. So I believe that theory is true, and I believe it's going to happen in the next few episodes. Like, I'm pretty sure that the metal mask, because I think Teddy Sears, who plays Jay Garrick, or somebody, I don't know who it was for sure, said that they would reveal who the man in the metal mask was in the finale. So I'm sure, very sure actually, that it will be the real Jay Garrick, Earth-2 Henry. So what do you guys think about that? Comment down below. We also got some other stuff in this episode. We got a few things with Caitlin and Zoom. Another it's not really an Easter egg, it's more like a little kind of like a bling, you know, like a flash a little bit. Get it? A flash. With Caitlin, where Zoom is just like, hey, you know, unlock the darkness like Killer Frost did. He's not telling Caitlin to become a metahuman. He's not telling her to get powers in any way. He's just saying, get that emotion out. Because remember when we met Caitlin in episode 1 of season 1, she was like, you know, Barry's like, you don't smile much, and she's like, she just was cold as ice because she lost Ronnie, her bioengineer career was over, her boss was in a wheelchair, her fake boss anyway, like, Eobard Thawne was never really her boss. But, so that's what you're, like, kind of circling back to, is that will Caitlin use more of that emotion? Because she's a very emotional character, you know, she's had some ups and downs throughout the whole show, with losing her fiancé twice. Well, I guess they got married, but then losing him again. So it's just, and then all this other stuff that's going on, losing another guy that she was into with Jay, which is actually Hunter Zolomon. So it's really confusing for her, really emotional time right now for her. So we're going to have to see what she does with that later on. I hope that she gets more to do. Like, now that we have Jessie Quick, now that we have Wally West, now that we have all these other characters, what is Caitlin's purpose? So hopefully they give her something in Season 3, or maybe in the next few episodes that will make sense. Like, right now, she's kind of like the damsel in distress, which I don't want her to be, but it's like, what else do you have her do? I mean, like, there's nothing else for her to do at this point. So, yeah. Now, we also met Rupture this episode. Rupture is actually a character from the comics, and he's actually related to Cisco in the comics, but he is not Dante. Cisco has two brothers, so there's like a reference / Easter egg for you guys out there who don't know about this. But in the comics, Rupture is actually Armano? Something like that. Armano? I can't remember his name. What's his name? He's Cisco's brother, Armando, that's it. Armando is Cisco's brother in the comics, and he is Rupture, not Dante. But this episode, they made it Dante Earth-2. That makes sense. Zoom told Dante from Earth-2 that Cisco killed Reverb, his brother from Earth-2. So he comes over to help Zoom, and it's just like, the Flash has the best CGI on television right now, I guarantee you. Maybe Supergirl too. But Flash it looks amazing. Rupture's weapon, that looks awesome. Like, I want that. Like, give me that, people. But it was really cool to see Cisco, talk to his Earth-2 brother, and then by the end of it, he saw Earth-2 Dante get murdered by Zoom, so it's kind of like, hey, we're not close. With Earth-1 Dante, he's like, hey, we're not close, I'm just gonna hug you now, because I don't want that to really happen to you. Like, even though we're not close, we're still bros, so I just want you to know that. So that was really cool, that was a really nice bonding moment, I really like it. Hopefully we'll get more of Cisco's brother, maybe just more of his, dynamic with him. Maybe we'll get in the next episode, who knows for sure if Dante will be back next week. I don't think he will. I don't know, who knows for sure, because they kind of left it off like that. It's like, okay, now Dante wants to know more about Cisco's life. Like, if my brother said, hey, I'm a metahuman, I have all these powers, I'm fighting with Team Flash, if he said all that, I would be like, tell me this step by step since the beginning. I would want to leave his side, right? So that makes sense. It's like, okay, who knows? But who knows if Dante's going to come back at all anymore this season, but, we also got some stuff with Jessie Quick and Wally West, of course, or just Jessie and Wally. They were put into the time vault. They escaped the time vault, which is really cool. And the dark matter wave from the particle accelerator, which we will get back to, by the way, hits them, right? It hits them, and they just go, like, crazy. They just fall down. They're just, like, knocked out by this dark matter wave. So a lot of people are like, Speed Force powers. Like, last night, I screamed so loud when that happened. I was like, yes, they finally get Speed Force. But, here's what I'm thinking. I don't think so. I think that would be too much. Because I believe that either Wally or Jessie would get powers first, and the other one would get powers later. But both of them got hit at the same time. But if you guys remember, the chemicals that were inserted into Barry in the beginning of the show, like in episode 1, and now in this episode, to get his powers back, that didn't happen to them. But what I think happened is that since it was in the machine, like, right, it was injecting Barry, the explosion, the wave combined with those chemicals maybe and hit them. Maybe that's how they get their Speed Force. I have no idea. But they could also have other powers too. But I wouldn't mind if they changed their powers. I think Jessie isn't just a speedster. I think her mom, Liberty Bell, I think she could fly in the comics too. Right? I don't know. Who knows? I don't think they would put a flying character on the Flash, though. But who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with their powers? They could change them up if they wanted to. I wouldn't mind. Except for Wally. I'd probably want Wally to get Speed Force more than I do Jessie Quick. Wally West is a more known character than Jessie Quick. I guess that's debatable for hardcore comic book fans. But for, like, the main, like, people who like these characters but don't read the comics, for that audience, Wally West is more known to them. Just because of, like, Young Justice or whatever. So they pretty much know, and it makes sense for him to get Speed Force rather than Jessie right away. Who knows? Who knows really? But I'm excited to see where they take that storyline from there. So let's go back to the particle accelerator. So Henry being there, and Joe, and Henry all arguing about whether or not Barry should get his Speed Force powers back in the particle accelerator that they're inventing. Was really nice. I kind of like where they were heading with that. Barry gets in the machine, he just gets crumbled up and turns into pure Speed Force. So this kind of reminds me of another Easter egg from Crisis on Infinite Earths. We talked about this a few weeks ago, probably, in a Flash video that I did. I remember talking about it. But in that comic, in that storyline, he also turns into Speed Force there, but instead of turning into just Speed Force, he actually turns into the lightning bolt that struck him originally. So they didn't do that in this episode, but they turned him into pure Speed Force, which is actually really cool. They explained in the next episode he's going to be in some corner of the universe or something, or like second Speed Force. I don't know. Who knows for sure? that teaser just went by so fast. I was still in shock by the end. Barry is not dead, guys. They wouldn't just kill off Barry. And we saw him in the promo for next week, so obviously he's going to be fine. He's not going to be dead. But it's really cool because the other characters don't know that he's alive still. And Iris revealing that she is in love with him and them, just now trying to be a couple until this happens is going to be really interesting to see what they do with that as well. So I'm pretty sure I covered everything. If I didn't, comment down below. But yes, what did you guys think of this episode? Comment down below. Links up there to my other Flash videos. Links down there to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and Cinema channel. Don't forget to like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.